Sometimes you can't make it up in politics. Turns out the Secretary of State of the United States used a personal email account for official sensitive business for 4 years. That's what the New York Times is reporting this morning about Hillary Clinton, that she did not have a government email address for her entire tenure. Now, this could be considered no small thing because, as we all know, personal email accounts, not only are they unsecure, certainly compared to government emails, but lost things, buried things, disclosure. Does it violate the law? Let's discuss Richard Socarides, former senior advisor to President Bill Clinton and a Democratic strategist, and Mr. Ben Ferguson, CNN political commentator and host of The Ben Ferguson Show. All right, Socarides, convince me that this is okay because it smells terrible.
Well, I think we have to remember that that what this story really is about is whether or not she used the right email account, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that we don't know exactly what happened. But, well, first of all, the real thing that this raises for me is how hard it is going to be able to talk about real issues if she decides to run for president. Because here we are, the story, New York Times has this as breaking news. The press has lost all sense of proportion. I got an email account, I got an email message, an alert on my phone last night. The breaking news, Hillary Clinton used the wrong email account. I mean, come on, the press has gone mad around Hillary Clinton. And this is why I think there are some people who are urging her not to run for president because she's never going to be able to talk about any real issues. It's going to be hard to break through. On this email thing, listen, I don't know, we don't know what happened, but I could certainly understand a situation where someone told her,
Ben, hold on a second.
Where someone told her not to use official email to conduct diplomatic business, that she was doing exactly what Colin Powell did while he was Secretary of State, and that after the fact,
I don't know that he did it to this extent, though.
But listen, after the fact, I just want to say one last thing.
One last thing. Go ahead.
After the fact, she turned over all of these emails to the archives so that we do have all the records. So at the end of the day, I think this is a story that is about nothing,
all right,
really.
Two things, Ben. One, my head is dizzy because Socarides is putting the spin game on me. Second of all, we don't know that Powell did it to this extent, and the 55,000 are at their discretion, aren't they? The Clinton team's discretion.
Right. First of all, she didn't turn over every email, and they didn't even claim that. They said they got a bunch of emails and they turned some over. So let's not rewrite history here. The other thing is everyone knows when you get a new job, you get what? The first thing come and set up is your email account. So let's not act like this was some sort of accident. This was done on purpose.
Why?
This was a decision made by Hillary Clinton to choose to not have a State Department email address because there's obviously emails she didn't want us to see. And if she did play by the rules, which, by the way, the government rules say that you're supposed to have an email address that the government, especially in a high-ranking position, not only for National Archives, but also for national security purposes because of hacking. And I guarantee you Hillary Clinton's private email address did not have the protections that a State Department government official's email would have. So this could easily be considered a national security issue as well. But why did she ultimately choose to do this? It's because she wanted to have total control over what the public could and could not see. That is so that you can hide things. And if this was happening with a Republican, the media would be freaking out the same way that he's now claiming that the media is freaking out on Hillary. It's unfair.
Thing, Ben,
this is fair criticism.
Make sure you tell your listeners today before they start the hate parade on my social media accounts. We're covering it here, and it's at the top of the morning. Now let's listen.
Absolutely.
Let's take a read on what Hillary's own team says. This is their response to this situation. We'll put it up. Hillary Clinton complied with the letter and spirit of the rules, had every expectation emails to other officials would be retained. First of all, Richard, this means that the White House had to know, right? Because every time they tried to contact Hillary Clinton, it would be on personal email.
And that's one of their points. Their point is
what was that email address? Do you know? Did you use it? You're a Clintonista.
No, I suspect that she wasn't sending mail. Well, she definitely was not sending mail out of emails. But during this period,
any emails? Did you ever get any emails?
I have gotten emails from Bill Clinton, but I have never gotten an email from Hillary Clinton because I don't think she sends a lot of emails. I don't think she actually really spends a lot.
55,000.
Well, but you know how many emails you send in a day. It would surprise you how many emails you send in a day.
What do you think the screen name was? Not Hillary Clinton?
No, I think it's probably Hillary Clinton at gmail.com.
I hope it wasn't. Imagine how frightening that would be with all the sensitive things that are going on.
Listen, in all seriousness, I do think, I think there is an explanation for this. This story is about 10 hours or 12 hours old. and we will know it. But I think that we really have to retain a sense of proportion about this. I mean, all of these records were all of the official records. I think when it was clear that she was sending messages that may have been official or quasi-official, that they were turned over for record keeping.
But it just doesn't smell
that's only the
good.
emails that she wants to turn over. Let's not be this naive to imply that this is everything. It's not everything.
Because it fuels this. It fuels Ben's ability. Ben has high ground here in saying, why would you do this if you don't want to control it?
I wouldn't say he has high ground,
Here's
but
the
I
other
said
thing.
it. I would agree that it does fuel it.
I want to say this. This is important. When George Bush was president, he did not send emails. Do you remember the controversy over Barack Obama, whether he would or would not have a BlackBerry account or email account?
Yes.
This is something that you don't just accidentally not set up. You are in charge of the State Department. This is a purposeful decision to make sure that you are in ultimate control of what the government and or what other people may find out about your legacy. And she ran for president before. She's not an idiot. She knew this was going to come up, and she said it's worth the risk to hide the information.
If it were such a big deal, though, this is my head on the other side of it, people had to know this. People within the State Department had to know. People within the White House had to know. Maybe people in Congress had to know. So people must have thought this was okay on some level, because you would think that this information would have gotten to someone like you a long time ago, don't you think?
Look, this is risk assessment. They decided, and I'm sure Hillary Clinton ultimately and her campaign people ultimately decided when she was going to that job, you know what? I would rather go on TV and defend or say, oops, we're sorry for a private email, than people actually see what you're writing while at the State Department, because it will be less damaging to your chances of running for the White House.
I got you. Finish last point, Richard.
The point that they made in the Times story is that any email sent to a government official was directed to that government official's official government email address, so that there would be a record of it nonetheless. So if I'm emailing someone in the government from a Gmail account, it goes to their official account. There's a record kept of it.
Well,
so I mean, I think we will hear certainly a lot more about this today. But I think that we have to remember proportionality. That what this campaign has really got to be about, if she decides to run, is how we can help America and get America moving again.
Chris,
and that this kind of discussion will not help us.
I got you, Ben Ferguson. We'll be listening to what you say and others say about it today. We'll have you back to talk about it if you want. Ben Ferguson, Richard Socarides. We know one thing for sure. Perception is reality in politics. You got Jeb Bush, who immediately came out and said transparency matters. And look at all my emails whenever you want at jebbush.com.